Welcome everyone to the 7th and final episode of this naturally cool Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park video vlog. Once again, this is Ivan, your adventurista ng bayan.
And this is Gail, your kitty Gen Z. You know, Ivan, it feels like we just breezed through our last 6 episodes and now we are on our final episode.
Oo nga no, di ko lang namalayan. Tapos na pala tayo. I mean, our Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park video vlog ends in this episode. Pero ang friendship natin, strong pa din!
Buti na lang, akala ko ano na. It is not so long ago when we featured Lake Malagsum and learned about the ducks here, the Vulcan area with sulfur and the andesite rocks, and Lake Matigba with its churning waters.
Yes, and after that, we went to the Calor Hot Spring where we experienced both hot and cold streams. Followed by a trek to Ginaniban Falls, kundiin kumarigo pa nga na akong matugnaw nga tubig han Marabong River. And the Shinrin-Yuki experience in the Tangili Trail. Nadiri nga na ako maaram nga dinhingayan magtatapos.
Those were amazing episodes, and if you haven't seen them yet, be sure to view them all.
Yes, and for this episode, follow us as we proceed from here at Lake Malagsum to
Lake Mahagnao.
Correct! So guys, join us in yet another naturally cool and exciting episode of this Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park video vlog.
Located 18 kilometers from the town proper of Burauen, Leyte, the Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park, or MVNP, is where the iconic 3 lakes of Burauen, Leyte is located. For this final episode, let us explore the biggest lake, Lake Mahagnao, which has a surface area of 16 hectares and length of around 15,590 meters.
Before we tour the lake, do you remember that in the first episode, we mentioned Fyodor Jagor, the German anthropologist and ethnologist who visited Burauen in between 1859 and 1860?
Yes, I remember him. In his book Travels in the Philippines, he mentioned witnessing how sulfur was extracted and processed here using coconut oil and then being transported to Manila.
One of the reasons why Jagor traveled extensively around Asia was to collect specimens and data for Berlin museums. The sulfur discovery, though, was already reported 200 years earlier, or in 1661, by Spanish Jesuit priest Father Francisco Combes, who spent 3 years in Leyte as a missionary priest from 1659 to 1662.
Yes, that is true. But I mentioned Jagor not because of sulfur, but because in his notes, he referred to the whole volcano complex as Kasiboy.
And when Jagor visited Lake Mahagnao, it was still called by the locals as Haruan because it was full of haruan or snake fish. Locals also considered the lake a sacred site.
So, if this was called Haruanan and then Danau before, now why is it called Mahagnao?
Why indeed? The best person to answer that question is of course, the father of the barangay.
Panahon agad sila diri pa adto Mahagnao ang ngaran. Han pag ulpot na ha o pag kuanahan Amerikano ngani tungod kang Pio Trinsera amo nga ginngaranan barangay Mahagnao. Kahiyaman ang siya nga Teniente del Barrio dinhi ang barangay Mahagnao. Han ni Pio Trinsera ginpakianhan ang bato ni Pio Trinsera ang pagpatituluhan iya to na sinmirey nga itakon ginuumahan nga to na adat ligid niton lake hit Mahagnao. Tikang hadto gintawag na an lake nga Mahagnao nga upod na an mga komunidad.
We also spoke with Nanay Leti, Barangay Captain Agustin's better half, and she has an interesting story to share about Lake Mahagnao.
Hadto 1986, amo ini mahinabo nga nakita ko ito nga katunga nga isda nga didihan akon loyo nga nagsasakay kami pakadtuha tabok nga kanamong balay. Paglakat na dinhi na kami han sakayan, diri na kami nakakalakat na hirayo bisan sige an akong bugsay. Nabay og laan amon sakayan, diri naman nalakat. Pagbubugsay ko pagsugad, hinailan akong kabugsay. Paano ang sakayan nga na sugad-sugad puro uyog. Ama to nga paglingi ko nga dihan akon luyo, nakita ko na nga hawiton nga didihan akon likod nga kutob nga ni nasugad didihan luyo ko. Hindi ako nga isda nga nasugad dito, pati ang ikog nalutaw. Wala ko kumitahan nawong pa kanila. Amo na akong pagsiringa, ini nga danaw, diri ini, baga, yano nga, kuwamba, may good na nag-iyahin nga tubig.
When Fedor Jagor came to Mahagnao between 1859 to 1860, he requested locals to build a bamboo raft like this one so he can measure the lake's depth.
But we would not be measuring how deep this lake is. Instead, we will use the raft in exploring this lake. Come on, join us! These here are not nipa plants, although they look like one. They are locally called lumbia, and they grow in abundance here at the banks of the freshwater Lake Mahagnao. But like the nipa or the mangrove palm, the lumbia is also weaved and made into a roofing material for native huts and summer cottages.
This here is not an extra-dimensional portal to another world, but these roots of the ficus tree surely steers the imagination. You would feel like passing through an archway into a different place in time. Tulad ng isang time machine kung saan masaya pa kami noon.
Hay nako, walang katapusang hugot kay X, hindi makamove on. Ang tigas ng ulo. This is not a door for another place or time. This is a perfect place for a selfie!
This area here right next to the portal is called the Awasan, or where water from Lake Mahagnao drains into the lowlands, serving as an outlet of the lake.
Uy, alam ko kung saan papunta ang tubig dito. Di ba papunta ito sa Ginaniban Falls at Marabong River?
Yes, you are correct. And both Ginaniban Falls and Marabong River were featured in our 5th episode of this series. Aside from the whole lake ecosystem, there are also interesting microhabitats we can find here, such as this one, where plants grow up the lake but not on the water. This area here is also a favorite landing spot of the migratory egrets, which sometimes come this way.
You can also check the macrobenthous organisms, or the small life forms that include those living in the sands of soil by the banks of the lake. Like this snail-looking thingy that we have here, near the cottages of the Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park Ecotourism Association, or the MVNPEA.
The local government unit of Burauen, Leyte, with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, is assisting the community here in establishing ecotourism, which includes trekking the trails we featured in our previous episodes. Here at Lake Mahagnao, the association offers kayaking and other activities, and income generated by ecotourism here are shared among the community members.
And aside from the nice experience of exploring this beautiful lake, kayaking and rafting here is an opportunity to marvel at abundant plants that surround the lake, like this tikog-tikog plant, which can be woven into several mats, baskets, and other fashionable bags, pouches, or other items. That area there used to be where residents culled slaughtered animals and dehered them, because there used to be a hot water bubbling out from the ground. Remember that Mahagnao means lukewarm? That means there used to be hot water mixed with cold water that made the temperature lukewarm.
Hala, maupay kay warira ka papaso ano. Pero anyway partner, mapakadto kita itong nga part. Kay may dako gusto ipakita imo nganit aton mga magkirita. Kaya, tara na! We are here at the inlet of the water that goes to Lake Mahagnao. It still goes considerably farther and deeper to the mountains.
So, punta pa tayo doon, hanapin natin kung saan galing ang tubig.
Aw, dere na. Sunod na lang natin nga pagkani. Kaya na, may da kita ibang kakatuan nga ipapakita ha era. Basta din ni, asya it inlet hit tubig. Ngan ngadto la tawasan, Asya it outlet it tubig hit Lake Mahagnao.
Here on this side of the lake, you can see lots and lots of different kinds of plants and trees. A while ago, I saw the hagikik plant. Remember on our 4th episode, we mentioned that here in Leyte, we use it to wrap our food and delicacies instead of banana leaves. And speaking of food, I am sure the plants here provide food and nourishment to many animals and other creatures.
Yes, that is true. Naya ka ng mga nangukoy dinhi, nga kung gabi, ang mga ducks nga adto Lake Malagsum, napaka ni Lake Mahagnao para mamilinghin pagkaon.
Ako, Gihap, gusto ko na mamilingin pagkaon. Tara na! What do you guys think of this experience? It was so beautiful and exciting for me. I would love to do it again.
You bet it was. Ngan syempre, mabalik pa ang hapon nganhi. In the meantime, we call it a wrap for the 7th and final episode of this naturally cool Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park adventure. Be sure to let us know what you guys think by leaving a comment.
Don't forget to like Burauen Tourism Best of Burauen page and give this video a like, heart, wow, and share this as well as our previous episodes.
Thank you for staying with us in Burauen latest naturally cool Mahagnao Volcano Natural Park adventure.